welcome to the Triple B Experience. This is a segment we are titling Limited Edition. So we're going to do things like rankings, maybe watch-alongs, fun stuff like that. But yes, welcome to the 3BE Limited Edition.
We've got so much stuff going on in our craniums. It's unreal. This is untapped potential. Untapped.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Untapped.
We can't wait to get this out to you guys. Like, we're just trying to figure out how to get it to you quick enough.
Well, we started by being able to hit record now, so we're good there.
Every week, the other day, new, Mav. Every week.
The other day, we couldn't get on the app. The servers or something was screwed up. So it is one thing after another.
That was Mother Nature.
Content.
That was Mother Nature, Mav. That was not me at my technological genius. It was Mother Nature, and you cannot beat Mother Nature, but you can up technology.
Yeah, it's fairly easy to do now. But it's been an exciting week for us. We've released two other segments or shows straight to our YouTube channel. Bubba's Comic Review, Cosmic Comic Review, and another edition. Actually, it's the first edition of Cable's Cuts Watch-Alongs, and that's probably going to be the format we go with now moving forward, right, Cable?
Yes, much better format. Easier for me to stay loose. Not so wooden for everybody sitting at home.
No, it was great.
Wherever they are. I had fun, so that's all I care about.
I was amazed when you got that. When you were doing it, and all of a sudden I'm watching stuff from the movie, and I'm like, holy heck, we're moving on up. And I'm like, I can't believe it.
We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. So we are DYI until we die, I guess. But this segment here, we are going to do for limited edition, we're going to do the top 5 tag teams. This is kind of our answer to what WWE came out with, tweets or whatever. And what was their top 5? Can somebody tell me? Do they have it pulled up?
Well, I know they're
New Day.
Number 1 was New Day for sure. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I thought you guys had it up. I apologize.
No, I do not. Hold on.
I can't. I'll lose you guys.
Hold on. Yeah, don't do that. I got it. Hold on.
Oh boy.
I know. Number 1 is New Day. 2 is the Hardy Boys. 3 is the Hart Foundation. 4 is Edge and Christian. And 5 is the Dudley Boys. Now, this is out of 50 they did. We're just going with the top 5. But that's their top 5.
Well, how do you feel about that top 5?
Well, I didn't have any of those in my top 5, if that means anything.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Heavy WWE, obviously, but pretty recent too. Not a lot of older teams on there.
Mine's old school.
But it all depends what lens you want to look at it through. Because it's hard to do just an overall. I guess if you do the 50, but if you want to go, what teams meant the most to tag team wrestling, that's going to be a whole different list than what teams were more enjoyable to watch. Right, so
mine's kind of a combination of both for me. I feel like I each of our lists are probably going to be different. Maybe some of us more closer than others, and actually, some might surprise you as well. And we're not all going to agree. But for me, it was a combination of all those things because I've always studied wrestling. So not only were they teams that I've liked to watch, but I also thought they drew money, and they were just great tag teams. Really great tag teams, and a lot of mine are wrestlers. To be honest with you, so this will be interesting.
Heavenly bodies.
Well, this is based on. This is not for me, based solely on the WWF or WWE tag teams. Mm-hmm. These are the tag teams, the top 5 that I truly enjoyed. That were something at that time, because even though most of my career when I wrestled I was a single, I did love tag team wrestling. So
yeah, you've always loved tag team wrestling. I
just couldn't find a super good partner.
Yeah, well, that, but you love tag team in general. You always were, big on that. You even had the 3-way or the 6-man tag.
I love 6-man.
After the 3-way, what? What's the
No, I don't. Nope.
We're getting risky tonight.
I didn't promote that match. I didn't promote that match. The 6-man tag.
If it would have drew you money, you would have.
No. Well, a big money it had to be, but the 6-man tag. So, yeah.
You would have.
And I'm probably going to get bashed for my picks, maybe out in people that are listening on our YouTube channel. But you know what? That's what we like, people. So if you guys have anything differently, bring it to the table.
Opinion.
Watch our video on our channel, on the Triple B Experience channel on YouTube.
Like, comment,
and then
share.
Yeah. You can't say nothing to us until you watch it.
We plan on doing some lives. So whether that's YouTube and Facebook lives, we'll do some stuff there. Where you can interact right with us. You can put stuff in the comments, So, we're looking for feedback. Hey, you don't like, one of ours?
Wait till we start talking about independent wrestling. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But if we were, they'll listen. The boys will listen. Maybe. Sorry, I threw that out there, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, we know you, Bubs. We know you always try to get those digs in.
I'm trying.
Anyway, let's get into it here. This is, Bubba's, Cable's, and myself. Top 5. We'll probably have some honorable mentions as well thrown in there after the fact, just for curiosity's sake. But why don't we get started here? Let's go with Bubba. What is number 5 for you?
Number 5 tag team of all time, in my opinion, is Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nobody's seen that one coming, man. They were badasses. And the reason why I put them, because I just seen it recently, they were wrestled the Steiners in a match in WCW and just beat the living piss out of them. But in Japan, they were just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you mentioned the Steiners, I'm going to skip over you, Cable, and I'm going to go. We'll get to yours. But mine is the Steiner brothers.
Oh.
Good
number
pick.
5.
Good pick.
Steiner brothers. I think
I did wrestle Rick. He did break my nose.
He did. Now I like them even more.
Oh, thanks.
No, I knew that. That's a great story. For the rest of us who didn't get our nose broken, but for you, unfortunate. Though I think they were a great tag team. There just wasn't a tag team like them. They split the ring in half, and they worked apart. They could wrestle and they can muscle you. So I've always liked the Steiners a lot. Go ahead, Cable.
Can I tag into what you're saying there?
Yes, that's exactly. Yep.
This is going to happen a lot, I'm sure, but that was one of my picks. So instead of wasting a bunch of time on it later, I'll throw my 2 cents in now. I believe they were also the first team to hold WCW, WWF, and IWGP tag titles ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they traveled the world. They came, they conquered.
They were probably the best in Japan.
Yeah. They beat guys up.
They were stiff. Yeah, Steiners obviously pulled their weight, right, Bubs?
Yeah.
They were a great tag team though, and they looked like a tag team.
They were better in WCW to me though. Than
they also had a short stint in ECW, didn't they?
Very short.
Sure. I think
very
95.
But their Japan stuff, I didn't see too much of it till later on, maybe.
I can't consider myself a tape trader or anything like that.
No.
Trust me, but I have seen footage of them in Japan, and there was some good stuff, man. It definitely was.
So, Cable, what was your 5th pick?
Are we doing honorable mentions before we get to number 1?
No.
Can we just throw them out now then?
Yeah, we'll do 5. Do your number 5.
All right. My number 5, I went with the Hardy Boys. I think that's a pretty good spot. I think they deserve, a place in history. But technicians, they were not. So obviously they had the good tag team chemistry, being brothers and everything. And
where were they at in WWE's poll again? Where were they at? They were the top 5, right?
They were like number 2, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But they were innovators, going out and doing the tag team ladder matches that spiraled into the TLC matches.
They were
Jeff
number 2.
Always putting his body on the line. Like, they were a good team. I think Like I already said, they reserve their place in history. I don't think they should be that close to number 1 though. So I feel 5's good, at least for me. That's my opinion.
See, that one was expected. I expected you to pick them.
Mhm.
You know, that was kind of our generation.
Yep.
You know,
Not mine
I thought they were a good tag team.
because I'm old.
I can't see them in my. I mean, they're obviously not in my top 5.
But I liked them. I liked them when they did the Ring of Honor and Impact stuff, though, to revitalize their tag team career. I did like that.
Cool.
That was
Yeah,
good.
And Jeff
look at
Hardy's
the
still
title.
wearing the same pants, which drives me insane.
Hey,
might
if
have
you can
watched
fit
them.
if you can fit in them pants and wear them all the time, God bless you. Because I can't fit in the pants all the time. Hey, it doesn't work for me.
At least Matt Hardy changed it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Though I think Matt Hardy, I don't ever see him. You know, I never considered him to be a great wrestler. But you know, Jeff had a little bit more. He had a little bit more of a push in WWE. You know, he was. You know, he beat Triple H and a lot of high profile guys, I guess. But yeah, they were good tag team.
Match with Undertaker back in the day too.
True. Yeah, Undertaker. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. They're just not my top 5. I don't hate them. I just, I thought they were exciting to watch, but it just didn't make it for me.
Yeah, I'm no pulling any punches or anything here. I'm going to put this out here. One of the reasons they made it into the top 5 was because I thought that neither of you guys would put them in your top 5. Like, I didn't arrange my list according to what I thought you guys were going to do, but I wanted to spice it up, change it a little bit. So, but they weren't going to be above 5 for sure.
Right. No, I get it. Though, like I said, my list might surprise some people. But anyway, okay, Cable, we're going to start with you this time. Start with 4. So you're first.
Okay, so 4, I actually went with Revival or FTR, whichever version you want to go with. Yeah, pretty high praise, especially for all the longer they've been around and kind of missing some time.
Not to cut you off, Cable, but I'm going to say they were one of my honorable mentions. I think that highly of them. They're definitely in my top 10. They are up there as a team that, if they would have been giving the reins a little bit, I think they could have been one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Cable, go ahead and finish your thought there.
Same thing as you. They were teetering. It was either the bottom half of the top 5, which you can't technically do, but the 4th or 5th spot, or honorable mentions. But they had to be brought up because they've revitalized tag team wrestling. I mean, you got some teams like the New Day and things like that, but what they've done, the attention to detail, and how smart they are with what they do in the ring as a team. And there's another team that's going to be up there on my list that you could say the same thing about, but they've been doing it for a wider audience, with the NXT and then up on WWE's main roster. Like, I think they're a big reason why tag team wrestling's so big nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, FTR made my list as well. However, I feel like they slowed down a little bit in AEW too. I know they're a part of the bigger faction now, but I still think we haven't seen the best of them yet.
No, and honestly, this last year put a halt on a lot of stuff. I mean, they might be in a completely different current standing if they were touring and in front of fans. Because I know, I don't know this for a fact, but things I've heard and everything that the Adam Page thing may have never been with him with the Dark Order. Like the Kenny Omega and him was supposed to come along a lot sooner, and they changed a lot. So who's to say where they would be had the pandemic not happened and things like that. But I think regardless, I think they're going to climb to the top again and make a name all over again.
All right. Good call there. Okay. Bubba, number 4 for you, my man.
Well, my number 4 is the pioneers of what Cable have just mentioned. Number 4 to me is Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Awesome. Yeah, they made honorable mention for me. They would be 6. Okay, but I love the Brain Busters. But go ahead, Bubs.
Well, I mean, just being a horseman. Just a horseman, and then just doing what they did, and then when they went to WWF and with the Brain Busters.
Oh, you said Arn and
Tully.
Did you say Tully? Or did you say
okay.
Arn and Tully. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh my, yeah.
Let me can I just tag in real quick before you do your thing, Bubba?
You can.
That's the reason they didn't make my list, is because we did the list exclusively as tag teams, not groups or factions. That run they had in WWF as the Brainbusters was great, but it was so short.
Because they were Tully and yeah. But no, I mean, I just did it because they were tag team champions. Had nothing to do with them being the Horsemen. Because actually, one of the matches to me was the Chi-Town Heat and Starrcade when the Road Warriors beat them and they went over because it was a disqualification or something because they always held on to their titles. So, and they were that good. Like Arn was just money.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, they just missed the cusp for me. The Brainbusters would probably be number 6, I would say. Okay, so my number 4 is the Midnight Express. That might surprise some of you, but I mean, come on, guys, they drew some money.
Which one? Which Express? Condrey or Stan Lane?
Man, I think I saw more of Stan.
Yeah.
But I think, oh man, it's so I don't want to. But Condrey was, yeah.
They were good with Condrey too.
Yeah, they were good. But
I'm gonna say they were hotter with Stan Lane though.
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Stan was better looking and hooked up with all the women.
I didn't mean hotter like that, Bubba.
Oh, well, that's what I hear, I guess.
But the Midnight Express clocks in at number 4 for me. Never a dull moment. So this is a good time. I love talking about this stuff, and I love talking about it with you gentlemen. So, okay. So number 3, I'm going to start, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So number 3 for me is the Rock and Roll Express. So 2 expresses in a row for me.
Yeah.
So I, like I said, I didn't get to watch a lot of this stuff.
Because you probably wasn't born.
I was exactly. I studied wrestling. Wrestling was one of my first loves, and it didn't matter what kind of wrestling it was. If it was wrestling, I was watching it. So fortunately, I was able to watch a lot of their stuff, and they're just so fluid. They were, they were the ultimate baby faces, right?
Oh yeah,
and they really paved the way for like guys that I love, like Shawn Michaels.
They were small, they were fast. The girls loved them, and they got a pop when they were coming
tags.
through. Yep. Yeah, double drop kicks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they showed what tag team wrestling could be.
Yes.
As a face or entertainment value.
Mm-hmm.
Like
anybody on my list. Yeah, for sure. And anybody on my list, I think they were the most smooth, and they really worked on their skill of tag team wrestling.
And they still work.
Tag team moves. They still work. They were just AEW last month or something like that. You know what I mean? So, I just really like the Rock and Roll Express. So they're my number 3. So Bubba, let's go with you.
My number 3 pick was the British Bulldogs.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Due to the fact, just them two in the early 80s, there was no other team that could do what they did.
They were on my honorable mentions as well.
They were, I mean, it's a shame what happened. They cut that team early, but still at that time in the early 80s, nobody could do the stuff nobody could do them suplexes like Dynamite Kid. You know what I mean? So that was my top 3. That's my. So
they were my number 10.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed them. But I mean, I don't have Matilda here, but
that's okay. Oh,
there he is.
Yeah.
And that's the one I'm watching for the weekend. I have mine's upstairs. So, but this is the rental here who's staying with me for
the rental
days. So, yeah. He's a friend's bulldog, and
I thought that was yours.
Vacation. No, mine's upstairs.
Oh, you can't keep them in the same room, can you?
Well, they've been doing really well after the first night, but
it would be
it
would be the Pittsburgh Bulldogs then.
Right. They get a little frisky, like the ones on the south side,
Okay.
So, no, but they've been doing good. Anyway, go ahead. So the British Bulldogs, that's a good pick, for sure. So Cable, you're up, man.
All right. Well, 3 for me was Steiners. So I'm not going to retread all that, but the fact that they were the first to really go around the world and be true world tag team champs and, win the belts all over the place, and the chemistry between the two of them, was great, and watching them go around and beat people up and really, they were like road warriors in that aspect where you believed everything they did. So they were my number 3.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. All right, Bubs. Number 2. What's your number 2
Well,
slot?
my number 2 is, I'm not going to rehash what you said, but my number 2 was the Rock and Roll Express.
Okay.
Due to the fact that time they had to overcome in the mid 80s big tag teams like the Russians.
That's a good point.
And stuff like that. I mean, every tag team they wrestled, they were small in stature, but like big at heart. Because and it's surprising coming from me. My number 2 tag team would be the Rock and Roll Express. But tag team wrestling, that's tag team wrestling right there. You know what I mean? Well, they didn't make number 1, but they were very close, I believe. And and they're both doing it to this day. So they're still doing it.
Right.
So number 2.
You know who I'm surprised? Can I?
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I'm really surprised by that because I thought your number 2 tag team would have been the Mega Powers.
Oh no, no!
But just knowing you,
well, he didn't get to
knowing you,
no, they
He
weren't.
didn't get
They
to number 1 yet.
No,
we know what his
never,
number 1 is. Cable.
They never won a tie. They never got a tie.
Twin Towers.
They never. Yeah, they just never. They never got tag team gold. So even with those 2 egos couldn't compete. You know what I mean? It was just there to tag
I'm just
up.
saying. I thought you'd sneak him in there.
No.
You know what I'm saying, brother.
No.
No. But no, I'm. Yeah.
It always
Anyway.
helps when somebody in your top 5 tag
I
teams
would have
has
picked.
won the
I would have
tag team
picked.
championship.
I mean, this is crazy though too. But recently, I just saw a video of Rick Martel and Piper in the Pacific, Northeast. When he did, that, and that was a good tag. I mean, hey man, I'm a bigger Piper mark than Hogan mark, if you can believe. I like them both. Don't get me wrong, but Piper is just. I mean, it wasn't for that Piper's Pit, I wouldn't be doing this right now, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, my number 2 pick is the Rock and Roll Express.
Awesome.
They were good. I mean, because I used to watch them on Saturday mornings, Channel 53. You know what I mean? It was, and we got 3 minutes to go, and the Rock and Roll Express. Oh, that's how it was. And then they wouldn't even finish the match. It'd be the end of the show every Saturday.
Yeah, they really paved the way for a lot of tag teams.
Yeah.
They really have. So
Yeah, I mean,
number 3, number 2 for
and then
you.
Ricky,
So.
and then Ricky tried to, go against Flair, at that time, and I mean, that was hot. They were hot, and they were so hot they were getting mauled and, thrown up against the wall by every female chick in every place they went to. Probably they were super hot, and they can wrestle. So,
yeah, for sure. Okay, Cable, what's your number 2?
All right, my number 2, I got Jim and Brett, Hart Foundation.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah,
Not a bad pick. I have them honorable mention. That would have been my number 9. So very cool.
I went with them, and I don't know if anybody's going to get pissed at this, but I looked at them and the Bulldogs as almost interchangeable. They just
9 and
remind
10
me.
on my list.
Yeah,
I think Anvil was a little lower. I think.
Yeah,
Anvil was the yes.
Yeah.
Brett made that tag team.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of goes in their favor, I think, because when you have, maybe 2 people that you didn't expect to be a tag team, and when Brett can, come across and cover up maybe a little bit of Jim's lacking in that area, but they were still, a great tag team, and all the feuds they had, and then they, come back later and form the Hart Foundation faction, which doesn't have a bearing on this countdown because not a lot of factions. So I didn't say that.
We'll do factions another time.
Yeah. Oh boy, that'll be hard. But yeah, they're my number 2. Probably, led by Brett being the stronger, but great workhorse tag team. We're able to go with anybody. So that's my number 2.
Brett was the technician. Anvil was the power. Where I feel like the Bulldogs slightly beat them out because they had power on both ends for the Bulldogs, but those guys I think collectively could probably outwork the Anvil. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I think they could, but I think for me, maybe what edged the Hart Foundation above was their longevity. Even just in the initial Hart Foundation,
yeah, good point. Yeah,
they were around longer than the Bulldogs were as
Oh
the
yeah,
cohesive
yeah, I
team.
agree
So
on that.
I agree. Okay, number 2 for me, the Fabulous Freebirds.
oh,
How could you not? And hey, listen, you can't. That was a faction, but they also had the Freebird role, so
yeah, if you have the
it was
Freebird
tight.
rule,
So
you're
I'm
good.
going with the Freebirds, and nobody's going to say anything about it.
Wow.
So, yeah, Freebirds. How could you not? I mean, come on, those guys drew money.
I know they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always just was fascinated by them.
But they only drew. Look, they drew money. They couldn't. They had attitudes, and they didn't give a shit what Vince said when they went to WWF. They didn't stay long at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, they
Put them
just.
higher on the list.
Yeah, that was a sneeze.
Yeah.
Right.
But you look at what they did in Texas.
Oh, the
yeah.
Von Erichs, yeah.
That's. I mean, that's you could
That's
have a
probably
whole show about what they did.
That's what put world class on the map anyway. I don't think it wasn't so much the Von Erichs; it was the Freebirds.
You have to have good hills. You know what I mean? You
Right.
have to have a dance partner. If you don't have the right one, it's never going to work.
Right.
And that was just one of those things that it worked.
Everybody was going to love the Von Erichs in Texas. No surprise there. But without the Freebirds, that's what took it to that nuclear level.
The Freebirds cost the Road Warriors the AWA Tag Team Champions. Oh wow, what the hell happened there?
Good point. Uh-oh.
Sorry, we're good.
We're good.
We're good. My computer people is all messed up. It's possessed.
Well, anytime something like this happens, we get a little concerned because I'm telling you, like, Bubba's dangerous with technology. He's going to blow up the world one day.
I don't touch nothing. It just stuff comes up, and I haven't touched anything. And actually, my screen actually shrunk. So yeah, but I'm going with it, man. I'm going in it. It just I don't know what happens sometimes. I don't touch anything, and who knows?
Well,
it is what it is.
First team with entrance music too. So.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, good call. I knew that, but I forgot about it.
Dude.
Just like most things. But Bad Street USA.
This could be. Well, like I said before, something come on my screen. They couldn't do it now, but I mean, do you remember their face paint?
Oh yeah,
AWA. Yeah, they couldn't. You can't do that now. But
no.
Yeah, I mean, they were rebels.
Oh, they would do whatever they could to make people hate them. I mean, they lived it.
Yeah,
they were like Flair. Now. They lived the gimmick. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But I'm talking about more so their work rate. I thought that Michael PSA's go, man. Believe it or not.
But Bam Bam was the linchpin, I believe.
Oh yeah. Right. Great tag team though. So that's my number 2. Okay, so
are we doing honorable mentions now?
We could do some honorable mentions before we get to our number 1s, if you want.
Okay,
but I think most of us mentioned.
No, well, you guys mentioned.
There's a couple. Okay, so Cable, you go with your honorable mentions first.
I'm not going to explain a lot. I'm just going to say who I think is on there for me. Doom. I think they deserve a spot. I think Demolition deserves a spot. APA, not the Acolytes. They were cool, but the APA, they were cool. I mean, they were they were awesome. And Harlem Heat, New Day, and oh my God, Bubba's gonna kill me. Road Warriors.
What?
Okay. All right.
What?
All right. I got you. Bubba, who's your honorable mentions?
Well, I'm gonna go with a couple of mine just off the top of my head. I'm gonna go with the Midnight Rockers.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Demolition because to me, they were a ripoff of the Road Warriors. Okay.
One of the coolest things that I remember, just real quick, not to cut you off, I'm going to tag in real quick.
Go ahead.
The coolest thing I remember was working a show. We were in this trailer as a dressing room, and I was sitting there watching the Olympics with Axe and Smash. So just really weird.
Cool.
Just like it was just like, this is my life right now. You know,
Well,
somebody that I always liked. They didn't even make my honorable mention, but still, they were.
I wrestled
they were
Bill.
big.
I wrestled Bill Eadie, and he didn't let me do anything. I
Oh,
mean, he
really?
was I beat him by disqualification at the Jefferson County Fair. There wasn't a lot of people because Lash didn't promote very well. But
Bubba and his digs.
yeah,
He's gotta shoot.
it's true though. It's true.
Iron shot.
And Edie was just. I mean, I didn't do too. I mean, I didn't get to do much, and he controlled the match. And I tried.
They were nice as hell to me.
Yeah, I mean,
like
he was
said,
nice.
I think I worked Doink the Clown that night. Sitting
DC.
back and.
Hey, God bless you, brother.
Yeah. And I broke.
Hey, everybody.
I had a double header. I had a double header that day, and I broke my foot in a ladder match previously.
Oh
so
my God!
TC's wrestling a one-legged broomstick at that point.
Oh my God!
But I knew I had to, make him look good. Put
Your
him
mom
over
loved that. Your mom loved that.
Yeah. Well,
my God.
I strapped
what
it
are
up,
you doing?
taped it up, and went out there and did the best I could for
God
him.
bless you.
And then I'm sitting back there and talking to Demolition. It's crazy.
Well, and I'll go with.
I've had a cool life. I've had a cool life.
I said, I said Doom. I didn't say Doom. I'm going to say the original. The Hollywood Blondes.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
And now I'll just go with 3. And New Day.
Yeah,
New Day
cool.
will be my honorable mention because New Day, to me, you know what I mean, has done stuff. Whatever interchangeable Freebirds stuff whatever they put, all 3 of them, they've had a long career. And they're more tag team than singles, even though Kofi had that Kofi Mania. But that would be my 4 honorable mentions. So
okay, cool. So
I won recent team. That's the only recent team I got.
I have 5 honorable mentions. So I'm just going to go from 10 to 6. So Bulldogs were 10. Heart Foundation was 9. FTR was 8. Don't kill me here. Young Bucks are number 7.
Ew.
No, don't. No, I'm telling you, dude.
Wow.
They're one of the best tag teams going right now.
Everything's a high spot. There's no wrestling. God,
come on.
They would be well,
the Brainbusters are 6.
Okay.
And I want to expand on that since Bubba wants to give everybody shit, apparently. There was no real rhyme or reason for my list. Like, they were just a team that made me feel something at some point. And, like, Road Warriors, absolutely. Like, I could talk myself into switching any of these, but, like, Road Warriors, I didn't start watching wrestling until, they were Legion of Doom again in WWF with Sonny. Like, I didn't get to see them in their prime as the actual Road Warriors.
Like 3 days old pizza.
Right. And I've gone back and watched it, but not seeing it in the moment changes a lot for me.
Wow.
And some of it I'm looking at how important are they in the foundation of tag teams or just whatever. But yeah, I mean, Road Warriors, I could have talked myself into them being 1 also, but it's just we had to put numbers, and that's where I wound up.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I get it. Like I said, these are all just our opinions. Obviously, I got some heat with the Young Bucks there, but I think they're a great tag team.
Heat. They just kick all the time.
He giving me shit.
No, they don't. They even sell. Do they sell?
Yeah, they sell.
Not like Encyclopedia sell.
They are the new age Freebird. Or I'm sorry, Rock and Roll Express.
That's
what they are.
Yeah, but the Rock and Roll Express, like Ricky Morton used to get the shit kicked out of him, and you felt something for him. You were like, oh, Ricky. I don't feel anything for the Young Bucks at all, even though they've got this heel shit right now. Like, I don't feel anything.
They stole Caleb's mustaches.
Yeah,
well, now, yeah.
But they shaved them, so it's cool. It's all right now. Hey, Matt.
I don't get it.
I mean,
I
know they're going to be tag champs for a while. I mean, I know that. I understand that because they're heels. But I just...
Let me go first.
We're going there, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Cable, what's your number 1?
Young Bucks.
Are you fucking kidding me? What the? Why?
Well, hopefully I'm allowed back on the show sometime.
It's part of your show too, but why?
Well, like expanding off what I said about FTR before, I think they're the reason why tag team wrestling is where it is nowadays. I think tag team wrestling went through a real dark phase, and I think as a team, they function together so good.
Brothers.
Right.
I mean,
and they kiss dudes on the cheeks. It's great. They super kick 100 times in a match. No, I think
they have a move named after Dave Meltzer. What could be any better?
That almost wanted me to put them not even in honorable mentions. God, I hate that so bad. But other than that,
5 stars, baby.
Tokyo Dome. I think they were, the ones carrying the torch for tag team wrestling for the last decade, probably. I mean, more so than New Day, even. And they were doing
places that booked tag teams where the higher ups never booked them, but they should have, and they didn't. I got nothing. I got a heart. My chest is killing me.
Take an antacid.
I'm good. No,
it's
right.
It's just what they've done in the recent past for tag team wrestling. I feel needs to be said.
I don't think they get enough credit. To be honest with you, that's what they're number 7. They're not 1. That was bold. But hey, I think they're a great tag team. Just saying. So
who's yours?
No, you go first. We all know what it is. So you go first.
Oh, I know. My team would fucking wipe the shit out of the Young Bucks.
If they could catch them.
Down. Oh, they'd catch them.
They might have a super kick party all over their ass.
My team, when I was 12 years old, they'd kick everybody's ass. They beat everybody's ass. They beat everybody. They had to be screwed. They had to have, when they lost the belts in AWA to Steven Regal, not Steven Regal that we know in WWE, and Jimmy Garvin, it took 3 Freebirds, 5-on-2. 5-on-2 cost them the AWA heavyweight title. They went up against the Russians because nobody would go against Nikita. They said, up yours, and they went against the Russians, and they beat the Russians' ass. They beat the 4 Horsemen. They beat the shit out of Dusty Rhodes. I've seen all this shit live at that time. They would kick ass. Now I'm going on a tangent. They would kick ass of the Young Bucks.
We knew it was
the Young
coming.
Bucks would
Cable's fault.
Hawk in the chest, and he would no-sell it, and he'd grab both their legs and snap them both in half. That's what he would do. That is the Legion of Doom. They didn't get what they got in WWE, but they were the Road Warriors. They were the greatest tag team of all time. Always imitated, never duplicated. Always.
Have you seen the Young Bucks Air Dior's they've been wearing lately?
No, I did not.
Legion of Doom didn't have those.
No, they didn't need them. They were badasses for real in and out of the ring. They were green. They just kicked everybody's ass. I had to go buy the documentary again from WWE because I lost it and I had to go buy it on eBay. I should have pulled. Oh my God! And honestly, I'll be honest with you. When I met Animal, he was such a fucking class. I'm sorry, I'm swearing. Kids out there, don't swear. He was such a class act. I mean, he was so cool when I met him. Cut a promo for our podcast.
It's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, on a YouTube channel, and we just talk football. Like, it was the greatest moment meeting one half of the greatest tag team of all time. They'd wipe everybody's. I seen them wrestle RVD and Kane, and when they were in their prime, it wouldn't have fucking mattered. In their prime, nobody.
So this wasn't Animal and Heidenreich then, right?
No. This was Animal and Hawk.
So who was a better manager, Paul Ellery or Sonny?
Oh, Ellery. Sonny couldn't manage her black log book, let alone.
I don't know. If you look at her now, I think I'd pick Paul. Just saying.
Paul was a better manager.
Anyway.
He did all their stuff.
I'm going to give you each one guess of what my number 1 tag team is. Cable, you first.
Oh, on the spot. Edge and Christian.
Nope.
Oh, you didn't even mention them.
I didn't actually. Yeah, they're not even.
I'm going to be an asshole. Is this
okay? Freebirds
2000? Oh,
No,
sorry,
actually,
sorry.
it's the Newsies. But
Okay.
anyway, no.
Oh God. Ooh.
Somebody that almost made my honorable
Somebody
mention
that
was Impact players.
that wrestle. Somebody. What'd you say?
No, I was just throwing something out there, but too bad we can't get the rights to the Jeopardy music.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's got to be somebody that knows how to wrestle.
Killer Bees.
No. This could take all
Fabulous
night.
Rougeaus.
I'm gonna say. Kurt Angle is the greatest team. Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Team Angle, world's greatest tag.
That was a good tag team, but that's
okay.
That's not it.
That was a crazy guess, but I was.
This is going to surprise you both. But I went with the way this team always made me feel. Not necessarily their work rate as much. I mean, they could work; they were good. But just this team, just as a kid, in every aspect, just made me. It was awesome. It was.
Can
awesome.
I guess again?
Yeah, sure.
New Age Outlaws.
No, they didn't even make my list
Don't
either.
be wearing Owen Hart. High energy.
No, I went with the Road Warriors.
Oh,
Road
well.
Warriors, number one.
Gary, we agreed. God damn it, you stabbed me in the back.
Sorry, buddy.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Mav was like, we're gonna bury them guys and piss Bubba off. And I was like, sounds good.
Well, you already gave him a heart attack with the Young Bucks, so that'll do.
Yeah.
I think they're up there in the tag team for me. But yeah, the Road Warriors, there's just something about them, and it wasn't necessarily like I don't think they were the best workers in the world, but there was nothing like that gimmick. There was nothing like those guys, and when you hear that, oh my gosh! And then SummerSlam, I believe it was the same one that Brett worked the Bulldog,
right,
and they came out on that long entrance, came out with those bikes, man.
Well, it was the Warrior Pop. That's the Warrior Pop, man.
Yeah, dude. It just, the shoulder pads, the face paint, the mohawks. I don't know, just made me, feel nostalgic and, felt good, like when times were simple. And I think times based on simplicity. No, like I said, I think all of mine have been old school. I didn't mention too many new ones other than FTR and the Young Bucks.
I like FTR, but they haven't gained any steam in lately. So
no, but I think that, their steam really died down lately. I don't know. It sucks. I really like to see them in the mix again. But yeah, Road Warriors were number one for me just because, they made me feel good. And, when times were simple, it made me feel like a kid again. And I never thought about this. What was my favorite tag team until we did this? It took me a long time.
This has always been mine. This has always been, no matter what, since I was a kid, I've never swayed. I've never, now when they broke up and stuff and had their issues, I mean, it was sad, in the dark side of the ring when they do that stuff and, and Hawk and then Animal. I mean, it's tragic. I mean, it is, but you can't live that lifestyle and you can't do what they did. What Hawk did. Hawk was just an animal. But when they did it, I mean, their matches in Japan, they were legendary in Japan.
Yep.
Like every place they went, they won a title. Mm-hmm. Every place, you know what I mean? And honestly, if in their prime, if they had to go against the Dudley Boys, the Warriors would have fucking mopped them up. There I go swearing.
I think
again.
so.
Mopped them up. They would have mopped everybody up in their prime. In their prime, they were something. When they were the Legion of Doom and Georgia Championship Wrestling, and they evolved, and they did the face paint and stuff, it just gave them a new lease on their great life anyway. But they made them more intimidating, Yeah. And then you had the shoulder pads and all that stuff. Now they got cartoonish because they went to Vince, of course, because that's how Vince is. Vince never created them. That's why he copied them.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I look like a dickhead.
Well, I don't think so.
No. I thought we all had you see, just before I go into that real quick though, the most of the tag team, like I mentioned earlier, that Cable and I watched were the Hardys and
Oh yeah,
Dudleys
and your guys'
and
time.
Edge and Christian,
Yeah.
and none of those guys even made my list at all.
I never liked
Unfortunately. Not
any of
they
that
don't-
stuff because I was old school. I like the old school stuff. And-
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I liked
growing
it.
up, yeah, they weren't tag technicians because I mean
No.
the Attitude Era, that style of wrestling and stuff didn't put an
No.
emphasis on work rate and everything. But
The biggest draw that wrestling's ever had wasn't even a technician, at least not
yeah,
no. Steve Austin was, he was a brawler.
Right.
A little more with the Hollywood Blondes. He did a little more technician work, but his work rate wasn't ever.
Well, I went back. This off topic, but I was watching. I think it was King of the Ring '97, and Stone Cold and Shawn
Love the
Michaels
King of
had
the
a
Ring.
match. Yeah, I know. And dude, Austin was flying around that ring, and then he had the neck injury later, and I think that hampered what he was able to do in the ring.
That hampered a lot of his stuff.
But he could fly at one point. Like not
he could.
He could go.
But then he started trying to do the ringmaster stuff and like more submission based, which that didn't work. I mean, it didn't really work for him as much.
But this was even after the ringmaster. Like I said, who knows? I think he would be a completely different guy had that injury never happened. Honestly,
he'd be more successful than he was,
if that's possible.
Yeah, because I mean, when he was
when
he went to be a heel, and then, Kurt Angle wrestled him, and then they tagged up and stuff like that. Like that was a good tag team, and then also him and Triple H tagged up, and I think Triple H got hurt. Didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, that was the quad injury.
Yeah, and that ruined. They probably would have been tag team champs.
Well, they were. They had the tag belts and the world and the Intercontinental title.
So,
but
yeah,
it was such a short run.
Real short.
Yeah,
like a Coke.
But yeah, back to the tag teams. Like Mav said, it's weird that I've never thought of that, but I've never thought of who's my favorite tag team because they're so different. That's like I could tell you my favorite wrestler right now, but favorite tag team that took work. And
is it the Young Bucks?
No, just Matt.
Yeah, no, Nick because
he's a cuter one.
I mean, I don't want to go off into this whole thing, but since you asked, it's Austin. It is Austin. But
hey, we're going to talk about that another time.
All right, cut that out. Cut it out. Edit it out.
It'll probably change between.
Well, yeah, you are going to edit it because of the borders around my screen. So
I don't know. I don't know if I can do that.
Okay, well, if you can, it's okay too. But people you're going to see the borders on my screen because my computer does his own stuff because I try not to touch nothing. That's okay. But I mean, this is great though. I mean, this is great. I mean, it made me think on my stuff, and I come up with my stuff pretty quick because those are teams. And then I was surprised I did the rock and roll, but still, because they're smaller guys. But that doesn't matter to me. Like, I mean, it took me probably less than 10 minutes to come up with my list.
But Bubba, how tall are you?
About 6'2". I was.
6'2".
I'm getting older.
So you would actually be considered a smaller guy if you were in WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a certain time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I had my 2-inch lifts, I'd be 6'4.5".
That's true,
but I would be like a natural. Hey, and I didn't. You know what though? For big, see, I didn't even mention. Natural Disasters were a good tag team too. For being big, those guys could move.
They had a cool gimmick, but
but they could like John Tenta can actually seriously work though. I've seen some stuff on him. He seriously could actually work. You know what I mean?
What are you saying, Bubba? As soon as everybody gets to WWE, they forget how to work and only do 5 moves?
No, I just think Vince puts them in stuff where he wants them to be, and he doesn't let them do their full potential. I mean, look what
I don't know.
I mean, look what he's done to Cesaro.
Nowadays they do, definitely. I don't know about back then, but I know now, you bring these guys in short of like AJ and a few other guys. Seems to be if you're able to keep your name from pre-WWE, you don't have to change anything. But they take these guys and recondition them to work this safe WWE style so that they can use them 300 days a year. And I think it really hurts, the work rate of the matches these days.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if you like Sasha Banks, she gets called a botch machine all the time by a lot of people online, but she's out there trying stuff that people aren't trying. Like
her and Bayley at New York NXT was the best ladies match ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting off that. That's
until WrestleMania.
That's something. we'll need to talk about
Yeah.
later. You know, because there's
so-
many categories we can do in this.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah, but this was each of our top 5 tag teams. You know, like anything, this stuff could change, but I really had a hard time with this. Really, just come up with 5, and then, you know, I came up with 10, but, you know, only really 2 new tag teams, and it's not ones that people would expect. But I thought everybody had a good list. So yeah, it's interesting to see where everybody stands. Bubba and I had a lot more in common than I would have expected.
Wow, that's scary.
Me too, Mav.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I we were tight, and then
your list surprised me.
yeah, I'm
A little
surprised.
bit. I thought
Surprised
Dudley's,
me.
Edge and Christian, Hardy's would all have been on there.
Well, okay, so
Wow.
I guess we didn't get to expand on this. I, did a little bit of. We were talking before we started recording, and I said I had omitted somebody from my list because I thought for sure Mav was going to pick them. That was why I didn't put Edge and Christian on my list.
Yeah.
I thought you would have had them on there somewhere.
I'll be honest with you. I like Edge, but I think Christian's overrated. You know, I think he. I don't even think he should have been a world champion, to be honest with you. But
I mean,
it
they
is
threw
what it
that
is.
belt to anybody anyway. That
Didn't throw
world
it to us.
heavyweight title didn't mean anything in the late 2000s.
Not that I have anything against Christian. I just, definitely better as a tag team than he was singles. But
Yeah, I agree.
and I think he would make. I mean, if I had to do another 5, they might make it. I don't.
Well,
know.
maybe he could get a
Let's think
tag
about it.
team partner and beat the Young Bucks.
Nope.
Well, okay.
maybe.
Well, no, just saying.
Nobody's going to beat the Young Bucks. They're going to go undefeated. the
Well,
rest of their
that,
careers.
Christian at last were on your own type.
Yeah.
His thing. Yeah, he's on his own.
Really surprised
anyway.
nobody mentioned Chronic. Kind of disappointed.
You know what? I liked Chronic when they
I
were
like their
out.
look.
When they came out,
Didn't remember that? I love Chronic. I'm like,
Yeah.
these guys are awesome. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, man. Then
Yeah,
I grew up
10
and
years
I'm like, God,
later.
these guys. I'm like, oh man, these guys were not good. They had a
Did you
good look,
see-
man.
Yeah, they did. They did. Did you see the picture Brian Clark posted? Like a selfie?
No.
It's like in his trophy room, essentially. He's got this glass case with like different belts and stuff he's had. And then there's like
Is there
a
one in there?
million. What's that?
Is there like one belt in there?
No, there's like 4. But there's a million of those atom bomb footballs. Like he has them on top of the shelf over his shoulders, like buried in them. It's pretty funny. He's got the atom bomb goggles up on the shelf.
That's hilarious.
What
Yeah.
a crazy gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Vince, oh my God, Vince is nuts.
Well,
All the
yeah.
stuff, all the gimmicks. Oh man. Gimmick. Wow. Boy, have times changed. And just real quick, this is completely off topic, but that's kind of why I started to steer towards ROH is people were just themselves. There were Bryan Danielson. And,
Sometimes that is the gimmick.
Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see these guys work and entertain me that way. I didn't need some over-the-top cartoon gimmick. If I want that, I'll go watch Marvel or read comic books or play video games, right? So I just wanted to work. You know what I mean? I wanted to see these guys work and have the freedom to work.
Right.
But yeah, anyway.
Who was
this is
the
our-
tag team that was real big in Ring of Honor? Oh, yeah, Young Bucks. That's right. Yeah.
Well, the Briscoes.
Well, yeah. Dude, they were
Yeah.
almost, they should have been an honorable mention. But all right, anyway.
Next time.
Oh, my.
Next time.
Oh,
All right, guys.
my.
This was fun.
Okay, it
we're gonna
was the
have
first
more-
one. This is the first
Yeah,
one
it's the first
of
one.
many.
So we're gonna have more
First of
limited
many.
editions. Yeah, for sure. All right, Bubba, take us home.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this new top 5 list. And hit like, subscribe on the YouTube channel of the Triple B Experience. And I'm going to try to shut this off like I do every time I do this. And it's quite an experience. So, everybody, thank you. We'll see you next time.